Hello and welcome back. My name is Anna, go by Yarny on Instagram, YouTube and Ravelry, and this is my little podcast. Yay! We are back after a month and a half, I want to say. I'm not sure when I last filmed, but it's been a while. And I'm really excited to be back today and to talk about what I've been working on and most importantly, what I want to be casting on after a gift knitting season. I'm in the midst of it. I think I still have a few on my list to finish, and I can't be asked. As you will see, I've done quite a few, and I want to cast on something for myself. So I think today is going to be the day. I'm going to be super cheeky and put some of them on hold. But yeah, we're going to talk about all of that. But first of all, we'll start this podcast with what I finished since I last spoke to you. So the first object is this sweater, which is the Wakame sweater by Woolsmith Knitwear that I've knitted using Cascade 220 fingering Highland, Peruvian Highland wool in Celestial Teal and Dropped Kid Silk in Petrol, and it is beautiful. And I wore it many times, and I've washed it twice, and it still hasn't budged. I do need to give maybe a slight block there again, but apart from that, I've gotten so many compliments, and it's just the easiest thing to wear because it's slightly oversized. I'm absolutely in love with it. So it was a test knit. The pattern's coming out really, really soon. So I think in a few days it should be out. I want to say the 20th. So if that's something that interests you, I urge you to go and have a look at the pattern. It's a label of love. It is a big pattern. It's all over cable using just knit stitches, so meaning that it is actually quite dense, even though the fabric that the lace weight in the fingering actuals are quite light. It renders really, really thick and plush due to the pattern, and it features this beautiful long ribbed 2x2 ribbing. Yeah, you got me. Which has that kind of flared effect, which is the part that I like the most. And I've really enjoyed wearing it so far. So if that's something that interests you, I urge you to have a look. So that's the first object, which it has been a while already. And then after that, I went full in gift knitting mode, which renders in this beautiful stack of gift knit, which I'm going to go through now. Okay, so the first one I finished, I think, is this one. I've not blocked it yet. It's for one of someone that I'm gifting this. I'm not going to mention it anymore. And it's this really cool ribbed, but like kind of different ribbing beanie. Not sure how it looks. Probably horrid, but it's a lovely pattern, and I kind of want to make one for myself. It's a very chunky beanie, different ribbing that gives a bit of an intricate look into this beautiful hat, and it's knitted on 8mm needles. I want to say it's been a while since I done that, but so it worked up so fast. I've done mine slightly shorter because it's a look that I like the best. And what I've basically done is go through an entire scheme of drops and this for this beanie, and there you go. That's what I'm left with, which is really, really lovely. The pattern name is the Ariella Beanie by Jessica Antonio. I've tested this out, but the pattern is out now. She did for a little while. I think that's still the case. She donated some of the proceeds to a children's hospital, which is really cool. So it's a bulky weight beanie using 9mm needles. So very, very fast knit. I think it only took me 2 days to finish this bad boy. So if you haven't had it, you still need to make something someone, I would recommend this beanie. Onto another gift knit is another fluffy scarf using, well, I don't really need to introduce the fluffy scarf, but you've seen it before. But the interest of this scarf, it's another gift knit, is I'm using hand-dyed yarn from Sheffield, which is where I currently live. This is for my mother-in-law. I don't think she watches my videos, so I can talk about it. And it's this beautiful, I hope it renders on camera, beautiful deep red with orange, so it's like very brick, which is the name of the yarn. It's called Brick Lane, and the dyer is the Black Elephant dyer, which I had the opportunity to go and pick it up, so I got to see the studio a little bit, and she was really nice. Oh, what's this? Oh, just noticed a mistake. Too late now. Anyway, so it's a DK weight, 100% superwash merino, which when it comes to gift knit, I think superwash is not the worst idea ever, because you don't know if people own, so many knitwear that they can really do a whole cycle. So I know she can throw it at like cold wash or 30 degrees and that'll be fine. Yeah, really, really cool little project. It's a fluffy scarf, DK weight. What I've tried to do is split my yarn in two, but I don't have any fancy weight balance, so I had to use my kitchen one, which is not very exact, and I still have some left, but it's just going to go into a blanket or some kind of a scrap project. But beautiful, beautiful, very soft. I've not blocked it. I've never actually blocked any fluffy scarf on it. It's just a scarf, but I can see that it would benefit from a little bit of a block. Okay, finish object number 3. 4 is for my this sister's birthday, so I hope she's not watching this. But my sister is born right after Christmas, so I made I crocheted her a little top, which I used a YouTube video, which is called the flower cropped sweater video. But there's a few, but I'll put down below the one that I used because it was the one that I liked the best, and she had a written stitch pattern for that, so that was quite useful. But then I went off rogue and I decided to add a little bit of a shaping around the back and the front and the armhole, and then do just like a little cap sleeve. This is not quite exactly what my sister requested. I just kind of made the shaping, and then I was like, shoot, that means I have to do sleeves because of that shaping. So I've done sleeve. But anyway, I used drop saffron for that, which is a lightweight cotton, and I used 3mm crochet hook, and it took way too long. I think this is what tipped me over the I can't gift it anymore, because it took so long, and crochet hurt my hands actually. So I wouldn't say I've not enjoyed it, but it wasn't the most pleasant experience, especially when I know it's not for me. But I think she's gonna love them, love this top, so it's worth it. That's the 4th finished object. The other one, which I'm actually in love with, this pair of mittens for my dad. He knows about it, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. So yeah, it's the Kuti by Josephine Ackerstrom, which is a colorwork mitten using 2 colors and creating this very geometric pattern, which was very addictive to knit, and I've thoroughly enjoyed. I would say I should have done the thumb a little bit longer, but I think my dad has like similar hand size as mine. But yeah, I think he is going to thoroughly enjoy that, and I hope he's not going to lose them. But yeah, I used Drops Lima in this color, which is 0707. I forgot what it was, which is a bricky, like rusty one, and this one, which I lost the label. which I think is limestone drops Lima, which is the alpaca wool. It's 65% wool, 35% alpaca. And because it's color work, it's quite a dense mitten, which is ideal when it's cold. So I'm really excited about those, and I kind of want to make one for myself as well. I do like the shaping, like more square. So it's not a very feminine looking mitten where it's not like flared out, but um, I love that. Absolutely love that. And the comfort of actually being able to spread your finger, I think, like sensory wise, is lovely. So yeah, and I was listening to an audiobook, and I think now these will always be associated with lesson in chemistry, which is the book I was listening to. And the last gift knitting that I made is the long-awaited herding cat socks that I promised to my boyfriend for last Christmas, and they never came to life, but here they are finally. They're not blocked, so they look a bit bunched up still, the colour work especially, but they finished and they look adorable. I started making one last year for Christmas once again, and then they were just too tight. And I got really frustrated because I was quite far off at that point, and I just gave up. And I'm glad I decided to pull through because it's not that hard. I think I needed a bit of a confidence boost and a bit more knowledge around colour work to tackle this project, but there's nothing complicated about the pattern. It's by Stone Knit, which is very famous for colour work pattern, like funky ones, and so it's beautiful little cats. For the black and white cat, which is our cat, I did duplicate stitch. The reason is three color work is a lot harder, so I just gave myself some grace and yeah, and I did both slightly differently just for fun. But yeah, I used Cascade, Heritage. I don't remember the colour. I bought it about 2 years ago, but the Cascade Superwash sock wool is great. I've used it a few times and I really like it. It's very soft, slightly waxy, I should tell you. And then the white for half of it is just a random white, and then I did invest in Phil Colana Harweta, I don't know how to pronounce it. This little guy, which is a sock done by Phil Colana, which has 80% virgin wool and 20% nylon, and it's quite thin. It's a light fingering, I want to say. Oh, merino wool and nylon. But this one, the black is Fable and the grey is Fable by Drops as well. So yeah, it's finished finally. I finished it yesterday around 2 a.m. because I was so enthralled in the book I was listening to once again. It was a thriller and I just needed to know who killed the family. Anyway, I figured it out in the end, but yeah. So yeah, that's all the gift nick I've done. Which was preceded with what I'm going to show you now, but I got sidetracked, and so I talked to you about the gift knit first. But before I started those, I made myself a little Sophie scarf using it's the color paint by number DK by Jarvan Textile, which I got on sale when they changed bases, and I made one for my grandma, and this is my version, which is nice little small merino, mostly merino. I think there's blue Celesta in there, but they changed the base now, so it's slightly different. But just a beautiful little soft scarf. Really happy with it. I've wore it quite a few times. The color's just really nice. It's this beautiful purpley blue, which I really enjoy. So I made myself one finally, and then they look horrible because I've been wearing them and they were in the wash, so I pulled them out and they look horrid right now, but I'll insert a very nice picture because it doesn't do them justice to show you them like they are now. I think I should always say that my knitted sock go through wool on my feet every day because I work well, I'm standing most of the time and I'm walking around all the time and I wear them in docks. Anyway, no, I'll show you this side. But yeah, they already felted, but I've already wore it like I want to say 6 times already. They're quite comfy. So it's this beautiful sock that I just knitted for Clemmy. Well, I've got a name, but she is called Woolen Sun on Instagram and YouTube. And she's a French YouTuber and recently sock designer. She has 2 patterns out, including this one, which is the Retro Dino sock, which mine is inspired by Luke's Diner, but it's condiment socks, isn't it? It's literally mayo, mustard, and ketchup. And you can't unsee it, and it's gonna have to be like that forever now. So I guess it's the condiment socks for me instead of the beautiful note to one of my favorite TV shows. But yeah, it's a colorwork sock, very easy to follow. I would recommend. Just be aware that colorwork on socks shrinks it so bad. So go up a needle size or go up a size completely and try it on as you go. I made the mistake of doing it way too tight, so I had to go up a needle size just because I was test knitting the size. But for the second one, I went rogue and I just sized up. So you can kind of tell the different in gauge, but the pattern's spot on, so you can go blindly. Anyway, so this is the one, and I've used Cascade Heritage in marzipan, in red wine, cherry wine, some wine one, and Yorkshire Spinners in signature 4-ply in butterscotch. I've been speaking about those for a while, so now I know it by heart. And then the last finished object is a pattern that I made and published myself, which is those beautiful house socks called the Last Christmas socks. Once again, I'll pull them out of the dirty laundry basket, so don't mind the shape they have. They have been worn in, but I mainly wore them inside, and the boy is a bit all over the place, but they were at the very, very bottom. But it's this beautiful mohair and sock yarn sock, quite short, using one of a stockinette, very easy with the double folded rim. And the interest of those socks is that you can insert a little ball. I used a velvet ball just because I wanted one. So it's a free pattern on Ravelry, so feel free to have a look. It's very easy to do because it's a slightly bigger gauge. I knitted mine on 3mm needles, and so it just flew by. And it's really nice, very, very soft, and it gives this really nice look of just all over stockinette, which I think is slightly chic. I don't know, if I say so myself. They are lovely, lovely socks. I'm very happy about them. This is the second one. Yeah, this one is kind of folded, but yeah. So it has, you could just insert a ball, so you make a little ball, but you could just not have it. If there's some notion that you want to learn, like a double folded rim or the short roll boomerang hill, then you could just download the pattern. It's free anyway, and I go through everything. So yeah, it is a free pattern for Ella. I was going to do a pay as you want for charity, but I just not had the time. So eventually, maybe next Christmas, I'll get that sorted, but I've just been too busy to sort out the PayPal, Ravelry, stuff like that. So unfortunately, it's not going to go to charity for for this Christmas, but maybe next Christmas. Anyway, and I'm super excited because it was featured on the Hot Right Now young like first debut pattern page for like a few days, which was really cool. And I got like plenty of people that downloaded the pattern. There's no project yet, but yeah, it was just super exciting, super exciting. So yeah, if you want to support me in a different way than just watching my video, you can just download the pattern and make a pair for yourself and post it on social. It's a free pattern anyway. So there you go, the Last Christmas sock by Yarny. And I should say I used Cascade Heritage leftover from this sock in marzipan, and then the drops Off-White, which was a leftover. So it's very much a leftover sock. And the idea behind is just having a moment for yourself during the Christmas period where you make yourself some beautiful socks. At using like beautiful material with a bit of mohair, and it's a break. It's just all of a stockinette, mindless, absolutely mindless project, and it's for a knitter, by a knitter, for knitters. If you see what I mean. So that was kind of the philosophy behind that. But yeah, the Last Christmas sock by yours truly, Yarny. Another whip that I have that is not been touched since last time I spoke to you because it had to be put on hold for the gift knitting is the Wazy sock by Jennifer Beaver that I'm knitting up using a beautiful hand-dyed yarn that I got when I was in Skipton, which is, I have the label, the Moore and Dell Audrey classic sock in so superwash merino and nylon, and this was a special dyed for the North Yorkshire Yarn Trail by Beehive Yarn, and it's gorgeous and very happy with it. I need to block it to actually see the full depth of the pattern, but it's this beautiful lace pattern. I'll insert a picture of the actual pattern image. But yeah, so excited to eventually cast on the second one and have them in my drawer, but I had to put this on hold for now. And that's all my finished objects, which, considering I've been so busy and working so much and fell sick and etc., is not too bad. Now I should talk about acquisition, which there's quite a few, considering that I bought a lot and walked up a lot. So a lot of them I've already mentioned, but this I got as well. It's alright. It's not the best cotton I've ever used, but it will do the job. I hate that sometimes it's just knotted together when, so you'll find like a knot in the middle of your skein, which is a bit crap. But it is very cheap. So my favorite cotton so far is the Cedar one. So next time I'll just go for a Cedar instead of that. But that was very cheap. So amazing. And then moving on to acquisition, which a lot of them you have seen and already mentioned. I just did a big wool warehouse order of all the yarns that I needed for gift knitting. So these guys, and then I also did, oh no, there's a few from Wool Warehouse. I had the crazy thoughts that I had time to do another Last Christmas socks, which I don't think it's going to come true, but I got this combo for this reason, but it could be anything now, which is the Drop Snow, which is a sock yarn but with a bit of alpaca, I believe. Yeah, 45 alpaca, 30% polyamide, and 25 wool, and the kits of mohair in red as well. I've never tried the Drop Snow, so I'm really excited. I know it's slightly thicker than the Fable or classic sock yarn, so I'm excited to see what it's going to turn out to be. But yeah, if I have time, which I probably won't, I'll make myself another pair and add green ribbon instead of a red or white ribbon will be so lush as well. So I got that in the idea of doing it, doing another pair, but it's just not going to be doable for this time. And then I thought of future Anne wanting to cast on something for herself after the Christmas or festive season, and I placed an order at knit.co.uk with two I believe, and I finally got some Peruvian fil lana in this beautiful green, which I've forgotten the name, but it's 279, which is this beautiful green, quite bright, and I swatched with it. So I want to say it's a very golden, yellowish green. Beautiful. I think it's going to fit my complexion really well. And the project would be to do an elm sweater, which I bought the pattern because November Knits, the designer, had a sale. So I was like, I know I'm going to cast it on anyway. I've been dreaming about that pattern for months. So I've invested and got myself the pattern in advance, which I'm super excited. So it's a raglan sweater with a beautiful long ribbing, 2x2 ribbing, and a beautiful split, which adds a little bit onto that. And the idea behind this color is it's a very simple stockinette sweater. So I wanted to add a fun element, which would be the color. It's already super dark, so I do apologize about the lighting. But there you go. So I got plenty of, well, I got a sweater quantity of this, and while I was at it, I wanted to try the Arwetta with Arwetta by Fil Colana, which is this sock wool, because I've heard great things about it. I've seen it in shops. I've given it a good squish, and who doesn't need a white sock yarn? Which the person that needs it is me, and I'm glad I've got it because I kept using random yarn for my colour work in socks. So I finally have a white, pure white sock yarn, which is the colour 100. Lovely. And then I also bought myself some little, I guess it's like Christmas gifts for myself, but the first one is from Black Elephant. So when I bought the Brick Lane for a gift knit, I also got myself this beautiful color, which is the Forget Me Not Silky Sock by Black Elephant, which is 80% superwash merino and 20% silk. So beautiful, beautiful like component, which I've never tried before. In this gorgeous color, which is like a purpley light blue. I'm obsessed. You can really, I feel like the silk or maybe the fuss took the purpley dye, so it has a beautiful purpley hue, which is really cool. I've not obviously cast on anything with it. I'm just going to make some beautiful socks for myself, but I really wanted to support Sheffield dyer. So yeah, really excited to try this little guy. And when I was in Birmingham for just like a Christmassy weekend with my partner, there was a pop-up shop which was Stitch and Hose. So they had a pop-up shop in city centre Birmingham, and I went there to get a gift for my mom, which I could show you actually. No, I don't, because she might watch this video and I don't want to spoil it for her, but she knows I'm getting her sock yarn anyway. So I got a beautiful sock yarn, and while I was at it, I picked up this gorgeous skein by Yarn Ting, and it's the Suri alpaca and silk lace in faves, I think, and it's 50 grams in 300 meter, and it's this beautiful. It's just so pretty. Warm tone, a lot of purple, a lot of green, a lot of brown in Suri alpaca, which I never tried Suri alpaca, so I'm super excited. I was thinking of making myself a beanie with it. I think that will suit myself so well, but I just fell in love with the color and just bought it for myself. So yeah, really beautiful, very colorful skein, which I love. I also grabbed some wool wash, which I've actually never bought wool wash. I just use regular wash, suit me. But from now on, I will use wool wash for my wool, which is this one, Eucalan Delicate in Eucalyptus wool wash. So never tried it. If it's any good, just let me know. If it's horrible and I should never use it, just but yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up really fast. But before I go, I want to remind future Anne to start gift knitting in October instead of November, because my ambitions are way too big. I still have technically 3 gifts to do. I want to make my dad a matching beanie with the yarn, which I think is going to be my traveling project. So hopefully when I travel back home, then I can knit that on the train, etc. And then my friend's birthday is this weekend and I want to make her something, but I've not even started, so it's not great. And she has a cute little baby and I wanted to make him a beanie, but I've not started. And right now I really want to not do that and cast on the Elm sweater. I say Elm, but it's EUM sweater by November Knits. So I'm going to be kind to myself for today, and on my next day off, I will cast on another gift knit. But yeah, I guess I should sum this up as maybe knitting should just be a hobby for myself, and I should not put any pressure on myself to gift for every single one of my loved ones, or start earlier and just stock up for start in the summer. But it just doesn't really feel authentic to me. I think I like to think of my loved one around the Christmas time and be like, this is me dedicating time. But maybe it doesn't work for how my brain works. And I feel burnt out of gift knitting, which is a bit of a sad situation, really. I'm proud of what I've produced, but I don't think next year I'm going to do the same amount of gifts for my friends. And I've been seeing that all over YouTube, oh, I'm just making 2 things. I'll be like, oh yeah, but what about this person and what about this person? I want to make it for everyone, and I'm going to take from more experienced knitters' wisdom and not put any pressure onto myself, especially when December, it's getting dark, it's depressing. I don't want to add pressure onto myself. Anyway, right now I'm going to sit on the couch and start casting on the arm sweater, because my swatch is right. I've knitted a swatch this morning, put it next to the radiator to block, and it's perfect, spot on. So I'm going to cast that now, be very cheeky, and then another day I'll cast on maybe a headband for my friend. And if I don't make it, if it happens in January, or if it doesn't happen, it's fine. And I could just buy something, or I could just make a card or something. Anyway, on this slightly depressed note, I'm going to leave you to it. I hope you've not put yourself in too much trouble with all of your gift knitting, or if you have, I'm glad we're in this together. And I'll see you very soon. I'm guessing after the holiday. So in the meantime, if you celebrate anything, I wish you all the best during this period, festive period. And I'll see you, I guess, maybe before the new year or maybe after. Not sure, we'll see. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.